Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my little investigations. In the last episode, we finally got the truth out of Scootaloo, and as such, we need to pay Rarity a visit, and get the truth out of her as well. Whatever it takes. Let's go! Where are you, Rarity? There you are. Last night. Okay, I guess I give testimony. Have a look at this.
Thank you, Doc.
Oh, for pity's sake, fine. I'll show you this.
Rarity, I hate to say it, but I don't think you're telling me the whole truth here.
No, she's not.
Darling, whatever do you mean? I dare say I resent your accusation, my dear.
I'm sure you
All
do.
right, then.
Doesn't make it
Let's
not
look at
true,
this a different way.
I guess.
How quickly did you come downstairs after you thought something was wrong?
Immediately, of course, but I don't see what relevance that has to anything.
I don't have all the answers here, but neither does Rarity. Maybe I can get her to talk, if I make it seem like I know more than I really do.
Ah, of course. People are far more willing to tell you what they know if they think you already know it. That's a Doctor Who quote. Might be from somewhere else as well.
Rarity,
I don't know.
I spoke
Oh.
to Applebloom earlier
God.
and learned that she witnessed
What was
Scootaloo
that
crashing
noise?
through your window last night. I also learned that Scootaloo stayed for roughly a minute before leaving the boutique. Now, if you came downstairs immediately after hearing the crash, don't you think you might have seen something?
I mean, that is... I suppose you do have a point.
Thanks, Celestia. It worked.
Pretending I knew what I was talking about worked. It's an allegory for life, people. Just bullshit your way through the whole lot of it.
You are correct, Twilight. I did see Scootaloo last night. I did not know what to make of it, and meant to protect her. I do apologize for not being forthright about it.
I understand, Rarity.
Yeah.
But
You made the
if
same
that
mistake
investigation
Applebloom
team from
did, and
Canterlot
you're an
comes
adult.
here and
Surely
finds
you know
any
better
of that
than
out, what do you think their conclusion is going to be?
You do have a point, I must say.
All right, time to get to the bottom of this.
Right, let's find out the
All
whole
right, Rarity.
truth.
Please tell me everything you know about what you saw last night. I can't help if I don't have all the details.
Tell me everything.
Of course, Twilight. I shall do my best.
Well, at the beginning of the night, I went upstairs. I'd had a rather long day, you see, at the office. My hooves were sore from all the work I'd been doing. And no, I don't need to know this. No, just what happened last
I finished my
night.
work for yesterday earlier than expected, so I had wanted to get my beauty sleep. I've been somewhat deprived, given that a certain client had made several last-minute orders.
I don't feel this is entirely important, to be honest, but okay. I had finally fallen into a blissful, restful sleep when all of a sudden I awoke to the sound of a loud crash coming from the first floor. Well, I was just scared out of my wits at that moment, so I made great haste downstairs to see what in Celestia's name was going on. What I found there was awful, terrible, horrible. The first floor of my boutique, ransacked, ruined, torn apart. Oh, what is a mayor to do? I don't know why the voice acting doesn't play during these bits. Worse still, True Blue, my prized jewel, was gone, snatched from my very home. And worst of all, the very first thing I saw when I arrived was an orange and purple pony darting out my door. I cannot explain what I saw any other way than to say that Scootaloo purposefully broke into my boutique to steal that True Blue. What other explanation could there be? Well, there's this.
Wait a second. Rarity, I know that this is going to sound entirely irrelevant, but I think I have a lead on what might have happened to Opalescence. At least, if not True Blue.
Oh, do tell, darling. Although I do admit that I must agree, in that I can't see how this is relevant to what we're discussing here.
I found some white hair right near the tracks outside the window. And judging from their length and color, I don't think there's anyone else they could have come from other than Opalescence.
That doesn't necessarily say where she is, though,
As a result, I think we can reasonably conclude that if those tire marks are from Scootaloo, then it's entirely likely that she crashed through your window completely by accident, not purposefully.
Yes.
She's probably trying to avoid crashing into Opal, which may well have spooked Opal into running away.
Really?
Hey, case solved.
That
Let's go
makes it all the
home.
more peculiar, because it is still the fact that she must have stolen True Blue, no?
Let
Not
me
necessarily.
ask a very important question before answering that.
Do you lock your door each night? Do you think Opal might have stolen True Blue? I almost want to ask that just to see her reaction. Come on then.
What if
See it.
Opal herself stole the True Blue and then ran away with it?
Twilight, I must ask that you concentrate and get a better comedy routine while you're at it.
Sorry.
Now I know why Apple and the others were practicing. Anyways... Okay,
Yep.
but seriously, I have a very important
Seriously,
question to ask.
For real this time. Is there any other way in and out
Is
of the
there by
boutique?
any chance another way in or out of the boutique? Any way that some thief might have left other than the front door?
Yes.
No, I'm afraid not. The front door is the only way some pony could leave. And since I already saw Scootaloo using the front door, I'm not sure where you're going with this.
I think we're on
Okay.
the wrong track here. Think,
Alright.
Twilight, think!
Guess
Alright,
it's
let's-
ask whether
let
she
me
locked
ask
it.
another very important question.
Yes. I believe it's this question. Through my incredible deduction skills. It must be this question.
Do you, by any chance, keep your door locked when you go to sleep at night?
Why, yes, of course I do. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Well, how did she get out the front door if it was locked?
One follow-up question, then. Do you also bring an opal from outside when you go to bed?
Of course! The poor dear, I couldn't leave her to fend for herself at night.
Then I think we've established something even more important than the accidental break-in.
Twilight,
Yes.
I must ask that you be more direct, as I am not following one word you're saying.
Alright, let's think about the facts of the case thus far. We know that
Mhm.
you heard a crash and came downstairs to see Scootaloo quickly leaving your boutique.
That's the thing that
We
happened,
can
yes.
reasonably conclude that she probably was responsible for the broken window. However,
Mhm.
we also know that the broken window was likely an accident, and that she had veered off course with her scooter because she was avoiding Opal, who was
Yes.
immediately in front of her path. You just told me, though, that you bring in Opal and lock your door at night. So that raises perhaps the most interesting question of all here. Namely, what was Opal doing outside in the first place?
But she would have gotten out when Scootaloo opened the door, would she not?
That's not possible. Think about it. When was it that she veered to avoid Opal?
Yeah, that was one thing with the Ace Attorney games. Sometimes other people just couldn't go through the whole logical steps of what could possibly happen. Which was a little annoying. But it was mostly only in the early levels.
Right before she
It
crashed
normally
through
gets
the
more
window.
complicated later.
I trust you're beginning to see my point. If indeed your door had been locked and had remained that way until Scootaloo left, there would have been no way Opal would have been outside in the first place.
But
Yes.
that would mean that some pony else was in my boutique as well?
Dun dun dun. Maybe they're still inside. Dun 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 dun.
Exactly. I think we can reasonably conclude at this point that there at least is the possibility that someone else had entered your boutique before Scootaloo, and that they're the ones who opened the door so that Opal could get out. The question
Makes
now,
sense.
though, is who that would be. And that's just what I'm going to find out.
Yes. Scootaloo
Well.
updated.
Good luck with that.
What does that mean? What's that supposed to mean?
Are you still doubting me after all this, Rarity?
Well, it's just hard to see you as a detective.
Gee, thanks. I mean, I did just do all that.
Tell me, who was right about Nightmare Moon?
You, darling, but...
Mm-hmm.
And who solved the mystery of the
Oh yes, I remember the Although we must never speak of the again. Pinky won't let us speak of it ever again. Ever!
You again, but I really...
And who recognized that Princess Cadence had been replaced by a fake?
Once again,
Mhm.
you, but you see...
So, why does no pony ever listen to me?
Alright, calm your horn.
Well,
Yes.
I suppose it's that eventually you must be due for getting something wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
That doesn't explain why you didn't believe her the first few times, though.
I could explain the many reasons that argument doesn't hold any water, but by the time I even got to Bray's theorem...
Bray's theorem? The heck is that? I'm gonna have to look that one
The
up.
investigative team would have gotten here and convicted Fluttershy of something like running an illegal bear fighting club.
You know, I wouldn't put it past her. Anyway.
Probably best to drop the subject now, while I have the chance.
Mm.
Sure. That, makes sense, I guess.
Don't look at that.
Anyways, I'd best be off. More investigating and such like.
Yes.
Thanks for the help, Rarity.
Thank you.
Anytime, my dear.
Where do I go from here, though? It feels like I've talked to just about every pony. Other than Scootaloo, of course.
Well, I'm sure
Wait,
we'll find her
Scootaloo.
eventually.
Scootaloo, that's it! I haven't talked to all the Cutie Mark Crusaders yet. And if
Nope.
Applebloom is involved, then the others probably are as well. Now,
Yep.
if I recall correctly, I can get to their clubhouse via the western exit of the town square. It's worth a shot, at any rate.
Yay! Right. Well, we'll leave it there for this episode. See you all in the next one. Bye! Now.
Oh my god.
Controller's vibrating, something's happening. Oh, is she going to go back in time by going through a photo? Because that's going to be cool.